see if we can do this in a one. Do you reckon? Should we try it?
We'll give it a go.
Okay. Whatever happens now, it's staying in the show.
It's not.
Well, a very good evening. Merry Christmas each and everyone. I hope you all had a good Christmas. Welcome back to this week's episode of your Manchester 27 already.
No, hasn't it flown?
Hasn't it flown? It seemed like yesterday that we were here.
Yeah.
Thanks for coming back. Are you all right?
Of course.
You had a good Christmas?
Excellent Christmas with the family.
What did you do?
Lovely little Christmas Sunday roast.
Yes.
Played a bit of football.
Yes.
Got a new guitar.
You got a new guitar?
I was elated.
And I should say thanks for being here today because it's your father's birthday today.
It is my fault, yeah.
What's his name?
Chris.
Happy birthday, Chris.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday, Chris. There you go. Now, what's on the show tonight?
Well, I'm going to be talking to Stephen Wilkinson about sober gay socials.
Yes. I'm going to be speaking to Joe Allen about the return of the Rocky Horror Show to the Opera House.
Fantastic.
And whom are you speaking to?
I'll be speaking to Hannah Robinson-Smith from the Salford City Council, who's running a beautiful mystery bird moving art exhibition through the town of Eccles.
Exciting. This is how your show's looking.
Takes its toll. But listen closely. Not for very much longer. I've got to keep control. I remember during the time warp, drinking the moment when the blackness hit me and the void of me calling. Let's do the time.
Well, coming your way next year is the Rocky Horror Show, and we are very excited to be joined by the fabulous Joe Allen, and we're giddy about this. But first of all, Joe, how long have you been with the show for?
Nearly, when we're back in Manchester, it's just under 3 years. I think I joined in the June, so we're coming in January, and in the June it'll be 3 years.
And of course, you get the privilege of playing two characters, not just one, two characters. Tell us a little bit about them.
So I play Eddie and Dr. Scott. Eddie is somebody that's had a bit of a dalliance with Frank, who owns this mysterious castle, and also Columbia, who lives at this castle. And then he sort of disappears. I won't ruin it for anyone that hasn't seen it, but he doesn't make it to the second act. But in the second act, his uncle comes looking for him, and I play his uncle as well.
I never knew they were related until just now.
There you go. Oh, I love it. I'm giving you all the inside info.
So which of them would you say is the most difficult to play?
Well, Eddie's a big sing. He sings Hot Patootie, which was a big hit for Meatloaf. And it's a bit of a big rock number. So it's exhausting, but it only lasts about 2.5 minutes, so I can't really complain. And Dr. Scott has his own challenges. He uses a wheelchair to get around on stage, and learning how to manoeuvre that in sort of dance routines and being able to get around the stage quickly has its challenges, especially on a raked stage where it goes like that.
But I mean, you've always got the fallback of what you're wearing under that lovely rug, haven't you? I mean, you are wearing something quite fantastic, aren't you?
Yes, I do have a lovely pair of stockings and suspenders on underneath my little plaid blanket, which is it's quite a thrill. I like wearing them. It makes me feel very sexy walking around backstage in my high heels and my stockings. I love it.
What would you say the success of this show has been?
I think that, it's 50 years old. I can't imagine how shocking it was in 1973, because we still get people that look pretty shocked in the front few rows now. I think shock factor is part of it. It's quite out there. The fact that it's got that kind of feeling of sort of being who you want to be, letting go, giving yourself over to sort of pleasure. Very sexy. I think seeing sexy people on stage in not a lot of clothes it's guaranteed to sell a few tickets. And it's funny, man. It is so funny. It's funny because it's rude. With the narrator, there's sort of like the opportunity for the audience to participate and they shout things at the narrator and in the show. And we've got Pip Franks playing the narrator while we're in Manchester, and he's so smart. And he'll have one-liners to come back at them with that'll be about things that are in the news like that day. He's so quick, so funny, and I think keeping it relevant by making it sort of political is something that will keep people interested in forever because it moves with the times.
You say it moves with the times, but this seems to have stumbled on its own kind of genre of music. I mean, it's got its own success, but I mean, what are you listening to backstage that gets you going? What song from the Rocky Horror Show really gets you going?
I mean, Sweet Transvestite is 2 songs before I go on as Eddie, and I listen to it every night. And Steve sings it. Stephen Webb, who plays Frankenfurter, absolutely knocks it out. He's so good. I love listening to that. It's such a banger. That is such a good song. Even if I was out and they played that, I'd be well up for it.
And when you first saw the show many years ago, perhaps even the movie, I mean, what was your reaction to it then?
I think I was about 14, 15, and I was part of this, like, I grew up in a little village in Essex, and I was part of the, like, local theatre group. Like, they were called the Kelvedon Players. God, even saying it sounds like, it feels like 100 years ago. And I remember that we used to watch it and dress up, and we were like really obsessed with it. And I loved Eddie, and sort of like that rock and roll lifestyle that he sort of, what's the word, like he stood for, this like proper rock and roll punk thing, and I loved it back then. I love it now. I've got rock and roll tattooed on my hip. Like I've always felt a bit of a punk. My dad was a punk, my mum was a punk, and now I get to play a really sort of cool leopard skin leather clad punk. It's great. I love it.
And of course, there is some people who still buy a ticket for the Rocky Horror Show, and they don't quite understand the concept of it, do they?
Come, don't come. It is amazing. How can you not absolutely love it? The show is pucker, and it's fun, and it costs a lot of money to come and see it. If you're easily offended, it's probably not for you. If you don't like seeing people in not many clothes, it's probably not for you. If you don't like having a bloody good time, it's probably not for you. So if you do like having a good time and you like seeing people in not many clothes, come and give it a go because it's great fun.
Now, a lot of our Manchester audiences, I've been told not to join in with shows. I mean, coming to the Rocky Horror Show, should people be joining in with this one?
Yeah, absolutely. I also say, don't join in Dreamgirls. It's not appropriate. Don't sing along in The Bodyguard. It's not okay. Rocky Horror, sing along, dance in the aisles, get up, shout at us. Everybody else has. Why shouldn't you? It's part of it. It's what makes it brilliant. It's what makes it fun. It's what makes every single night different, which is why I've nearly been doing it for 3 years. Because if it was the same thing every night, I wouldn't have lasted. I would have got bored. No, not because it's boring, just because doing the exact same thing, looking at the exact same person on the same line and standing on exactly the same spot every day is monotonous. But you never know what's going to happen, because I guarantee you, at least once a week, somebody will shout something that I've never heard before, and it will make me laugh. And you have to pull yourself together and be like, come on, let's get through. That was very funny. Well done. And let's try and carry on telling the story. But that makes it brilliant. It makes you feel like you could do it forever because it's such fun, but it's also different. I suppose it's the same. It must be the same with you as a drag artist. No 2 shows are the same. You might start with the same song and finish with the same song, but the middle is going to be different every single night, and that's the beauty of live performance. I do love theatre where they don't do that, but for me, there's something about theatre where it does happen, and sort of cabaret performance that I just love, because I love that interaction and the difference in it. I mean, I've been to see you. The last time I was in Manchester, I came to see your show on a Sunday. bloody brilliant. And I love drag. I love cabaret. Manchester is one of the best places for it in the world. So I can't wait to be back.
And finally, in preparation for this wonderful show coming to Manchester, for those that haven't seen it before, I mean, how would you sum it up for them?
Okay, so you're going to get good songs. If you like good music, a cracking band. You're going to get a few, a bit of smut, a bit of naughtiness, some sexy bums, some sexy legs, some cracking singers, and some very good jokes. You're going to have a great time. If you don't know anything, you don't need to know anything. If you don't know that they're going to shout out, you don't need to know that they're going to shout out. You can just sit and listen. It is a great show to be a virgin. We call them virgins, the people that have never seen it before. Come and be a voyeur, because sometimes being a voyeur is very enjoyable.
Very, very true indeed. Well, we're looking forward to seeing this. We can't wait for this to get to the Opera House next month. We're excited about it. For now, though, Joe, thanks so much for your time today. Thank you.
Well, there's lots of lovely things to look forward to in 2024. One of those things is Mystery Bird, a dynamic moving art exhibition which will run in Eccles. Here to tell us all about it, Salford City Councillor Hannah Robinson-Smith. So, Hannah, what inspired you to unite the townspeople of Eccles and Salford in this way, and what do you hope to inspire our buzz who go to see it?
So after a long project of community consultation, we are regenerating Eccles Town Centre. And one part of that, while the town centre itself is not perhaps where we want it to be, we want to inspire people to still come in and use the town centre and to provide free cultural activities. So Mystery Bird is an exciting project that will not only go out around the streets of Eccles, but that will bring people into the town centre as well and really light up the high street during this regeneration time.
Why do you think collaborative projects are so important for communities and their spirits like this and many others?
Yeah, so community consultation and collaboration is really important to us here in Salford. We try to co-produce and work with our residents to do a lot of things that we do. We have commissions and various engagement projects, but this project, with it going out to where people live and going down the streets of Eccles, it sort of takes culture and our vision for the town out to people, but then it also culminates in the Mystery Bird project lighting up Church Street, so bringing people into that town centre as well. So it's a mix of us taking culture out to people, but then bringing people into the town for them to enjoy that cultural event together.
Well, it certainly looks like a dynamic, liberating experience. You know, it's got the imagery of birds like representing the freedom to fly. What would you say to the people that might be missing this in their lives, and why should they come to visit?
Yeah, so originally the Mystery Bird project was created during COVID. So birds as that symbol of hope, like you say, and flying free when everyone was trapped inside. And I think a lot of people have still not fully recovered from that pandemic experience and really going out and enjoying culture again and enjoying those activities. So for anyone who hasn't heard of this or wasn't aware of it, I do think it's something not to miss. It will be really exciting. It's a lightscape, a soundscape, and it will really, really make people be proud of where they live. And obviously it's free for people to enjoy too, so that's even better.
Yeah, that's always good. Eccles in Salford is known as a historical market town. It's very famous for that. What do you think are the special things about Eccles that people might not know, and the reasons why it's been chosen as the location for this amazing showcase?
Yeah, so Mystery Bird is just one in a series of cultural engagement projects as part of the regeneration of Eccles Town Centre. So over time, areas, all high streets have struggled and fallen into disrepair or dilapidation. And so the City Council has taken it upon ourselves to purchase the shopping precinct in Eccles and really work with the market traders, the shop owners and the residents to sort of reinvigorate that town centre. So in this period now between hearing what everybody wants and actually achieving that and having the regeneration of this amazing market town be back where it should be, these smaller cultural projects and engagement projects and bringing people into the town to still enjoy the stuff that is there now during this time of change, I think is really exciting, and it will sort of bring people along with us rather than people feeling like the council are just doing things to them or, we've closed the shops to make them better. In this gap, people to still have pride in where they live and to still feel engaged in this. It's all been done by a community consultation. People said they wanted to see more cultural activities and more sort of animation of the town centre. This is the perfect thing to do that.
So it's going to run for 5 consecutive nights in January 2024. It's going to be a fantastic way to kick off the year. Do you hope that it's going to be a good omen, a sign of good things to come for Greater Manchester as a whole?
Yeah, absolutely. So here in Salford and across Greater Manchester, lots more free cultural activities are coming. And I think having something like this as the birds being a symbol of hope and freedom and flight is a really exciting start to the year. But I think in Salford particularly, we've just got a load of Arts Council funding to deliver some more free cultural projects across the city. And I know Greater Manchester GMCA have started a new pot of money for cultural activities and events too that people can bid into. So there's a lot of cultural activities and exciting things happening to regenerate our high streets, our town centres, and to really make 24 be an exciting year for everybody in GM.
I certainly hope so too. Thanks for telling us all about it, Hannah Robinson-Smith.
Thank you.
Hello, I'm Myra Dubois, and I'm playing Myra Blunderbore in Jack and the Beanstalk at the Manchester Opera House this Christmas. So grab your tickets and come on down, if you dare.
So as we come out of the very festive season, we're looking towards January. And January is a month when a lot of people give up the booze, at least just for 4 weeks. But for myself and my next guest, Stephen Wilkinson, we don't touch the booze at all, do we, Steve?
At all.
No. So you are the brain behind Sober Gay Social. So
I wouldn't say I was the brain behind it. I set Sober Gay Socials up back in August 2021. So I've been sober for about 9 months and wanted to integrate myself back into the gay community because you feel ostracised when you first sober up, because the last place you want to be is in the bars and the clubs surrounded by people condoning your behaviour. So I thought, I don't know any other gay people that are sober, so I thought I'll set the group up and see what happens. So we did a Sunday lunch and 2 people turned up, and I did another lunch and 4 people turned up, and now we've got nearly just over 500 people in the group now.
Very good. So, I mean, there is this thing, isn't it? People say, go out for an evening, meet in the village, and the first thing that comes to mind really is having a drink, isn't it?
Yeah, well, the gay scene's founded around bars and clubs, so it's very difficult to avoid that, especially when you're sober.
And I know personally, in recent years, we've had more non-alcoholic drinks available. Until then, it was sort of ask for a pot of tea in a bar, and that's a big growth, isn't it? In non-alcoholic,
definitely. And I think that's why a lot of people say, "How do you have fun when you're sober?" And I think that's more to do with the identity, because obviously your identity is surrounded by what you drink. So some people have a brandy, or they'll like a nice brandy, or they'll be a whiskey drinker, or for myself, it was vodka and lots of it. So it's very difficult to obviously socialise when you're surrounded by alcohol and drugs.
So your group organises lots of events. Looking through your socials the other day, as I was, you've got kind of meals, evenings out, theatre trips, that kind of.
Yeah, we do lots of things. So we do a Sunday lunch on the first Sunday of every month. We do a new a session called Don't Drop Out, Drop In, which is for people if you're feeling a bit uneasy or you feel like you're dropping out, then don't drop out, come and drop in. So it's a free coffee and cake morning. And then in between that, we do like the theatre outings. We get discounted tickets for that. We do paddle boarding, we do roller skating, and we've just joined forces with the Gay City Bowlers to do bowling events during dry January.
So do you have to join up, or?
It is a group, so you can join the Facebook group. There's no fees, so it's free to join. All the events are posted on Facebook. They're also on the Instagram and on our website as well.
So you were kind of saying before, you started this group because you found that drink was kind of, was it, going too far? What was the situation? I'll ask that delicately.
No, by all means. No, mine was a complete road to excess. So I was a daily drinker for 20 years. And for the last 6 years of the addiction, I was drinking just short of a bottle of vodka a day. Right. And at the weekends, I'd be drinking even more whilst managing to hold down a successful job, really. So yeah, it would have its challenges, and the reason why we have a group like this is just obviously it's more of the social aspect, and I think that's what a lot of people struggle with these days. And I think a lot of people are finding sobriety a lot more before like what happened to me, it becomes a big disaster. A lot of people are now finding sobriety a lot sooner, so they don't really feel like they've got an issue with the alcohol side of it. It's more what is my identity? How do I move forward from there?
Yeah. Brilliant. So where can we find out the details?
So if you want to find the group, so it's Sober Gay Socials, just type that into any search engine and it will come up with our Facebook group, with the Instagram, and also our website and the podcast as well.
Brilliant.
Thank you very much for having me. Appreciate it.
You're very welcome.
To the distant future, here I go. Tonight you are to witness a revelation about H.G. Wells' seminal work that will change the way you view the world forever. You will leave this theatre tonight with a choice. To believe in H.G. Wells' account of a dystopian future we are currently setting the foundations for, or remain a denier. Now, who wants to play God?
Stay away from me! Smash the patriarchy!
Now we're cooking on gas! Here I go.
Well, everybody, we were talking last week about one of our wonderful sponsors, and that was Pride in Leadership.
Yes.
This week, I want to focus on C&D Security.
Yes.
Now, I have to say, since they've appeared on their village and they've been doing their little bit, the place has never felt so safe, and they're approachable.
Well, that's very good, isn't it?
It's just good. Would you ever be a doorman?
It could be.
I'd be a brilliant doorman. No one's getting past me.
No. The size of you and everything.
Yes,
Nobody
he
could.
guards my dressing room.
Does he?
Yes.
So they're doing a SIA course.
Oh, right. Yes.
And they are running this from the 7th of January to the 12th of January. Now, this is going to be wonderful because the course will include emergency first aid at work.
Yep.
It's going to be conflict management, which I love.
You could do with going on that one.
Yes. Physical intervention.
Oh.
Yes. And if you do want to get involved in that, all you need to do is drop Chris a message at chris@cdsecurity.info. How wonderful.
That would be. Let's get you signed up.
I'll be signing straight up for that one.
I could see you in high vis.
Yes, I can.
You reckon?
Pete's cap.
Pete's cap.
Yes. Well, hasn't that been a fun-packed extravaganza, a cornucopia, one might say?
Somebody got a dictionary for Christmas, didn't they?
Yes. Have you enjoyed your second show?
It's been a brilliant second show. I thought the first show went well. This one's gone even better.
Are you coming back?
Definitely.
Lovely. That's
Yes.
the answer we wanted, and now it's on camera, everybody.
So we're now looking towards the new year.
It's not long away, is it?
No, it isn't. So you're going to stay up.
I will be doing. I'm working in Hyde at the Cheshire Cheese.
Oh, are you?
Yes.
How lovely. Yeah. And how? And are you going to stay up for New Year, or are you working?
Working?
Yes,
New Year?
New Year's Eve. Yeah.
Oh, yep.
Never.
You're
No.
young and fresh. You'll be out getting hammered, surely.
Definitely.
Well, yeah, I think so. What about New Year's resolutions, though? Do you have one?
Yes. No, not really.
Oh.
No. Well, there's.
What's one that you'd like to do? That you kind of tried to do?
Well, I'd love to lose weight.
Yes, so
but,
would
but
I.
then I just keep eating biscuits, so it
Yes.
doesn't work out terribly well, to be honest.
No.
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 I'm going to try and give up vaping.
Are you? You've a lot of things that you need to give up, though, haven't you?
Like
So-
what? I'm not going to be drinking. I'm not going to be drinking. I've decided on that. I'm not. Because vaping. Yeah, I think the most difficult one for me would to be giving up eating cheese.
Oh, yes, I love cheese.
I love a bit of a blue veiny cheese. Yeah,
Yes.
I do.
Yes. Do you?
What about?
I'm actually not a cheese fan.
Are you not?
Seriously not.
Have you got any resolutions that you want to adhere to for 2024?
I think I'm sound how I am.
Well, that's the way you should look at life,
Yes,
isn't it?
isn't
And
it?
on that, yes, I like that. And on that note, everybody, thanks for watching this year and this week's episode of
Your Manchester.